You've watched countless productivity videos, experimented with morning routines, and bought planners that now sit untouched on your desk. You criticize yourself for lacking discipline while watching others appear to achieve their goals effortlessly. But here's the surprising reality. The most disciplined people aren't constantly pushing themselves with willpower. They're simply smart enough to build systems that make the right choices automatic. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to build extreme discipline by working with your natural laziness instead of fighting against it. 3 years ago, I was the king of productivity guilt spirals. Every Monday morning, I'd wake up promising myself that this would finally be the week I fixed my life. I'd download new productivity apps, design complicated schedules, and commit to waking up at 5 a.m. to meditate, journal, and exercise before beginning my perfectly optimized workday. By Wednesday, I'd be back to scrolling on my phone until midnight, hitting snooze 5 times and eating cereal for dinner while binge-watching Netflix. The same cycle repeated week after week, and each failure convinced me more that I was simply lazy and broken. What I didn't understand at the time was that I was fighting a battle I was built to lose. Modern neuroscience shows that willpower functions like a muscle. It gets exhausted with use and needs time to recover. Studies by psychologist Roy Baumeister reveal that people who depend heavily on willpower for self-control perform worse as the day goes on because their mental energy gets drained. But here's the fascinating part. Research from Stanford's Dr. B.J. Fogg shows that the most consistently disciplined people don't actually have stronger willpower than everyone else. Instead, they organize their lives so that they face fewer decisions requiring self-control in the first place. This explains why so many motivation strategies fail so badly for people who see themselves as lazy. We aren't broken, we're simply using the wrong method. We're trying to overpower our brain's natural tendencies instead of cooperating with them. The truth that changed everything for me was surprisingly simple. Lazy people actually have a huge advantage when it comes to building discipline because we naturally search for the easiest and most efficient way to achieve results. In a moment, I'll share a 3-part system that helped me transform from a chronic procrastinator into someone people now call naturally disciplined. But first, we need to understand why your laziness might actually be a hidden strength. Think about it. Lazy people dislike unnecessary effort. We avoid friction and complexity. We want maximum results with minimal input. Those qualities aren't flaws. They're exactly the traits needed to build sustainable systems that don't depend on daily motivation. My friend, the people who struggle the most with discipline are often the ones who believe they must become completely different people in order to succeed. They force themselves into strict routines designed for someone else's personality and then blame themselves when those routines fail. But what if, instead of fighting your lazy tendencies, you could use them to build discipline that feels natural? That's exactly what I'm about to show you. After years of failing with traditional discipline strategies, I eventually discovered what actually works for people like us. 4 principles that convert your natural tendencies into powerful discipline tools. L stands for leverage. Instead of relying on pure willpower, you use external forces such as environment design, social accountability, and identity shifts to make good choices easier than bad ones. A stands for automate. Rather than making the same decisions again and again, you create systems that remove choice from as many areas as possible, saving your mental energy for things that really matter. Z stands for zone design. Instead of constantly battling distractions, you intentionally build physical and digital environments that naturally guide you toward the behaviors you want. Y stands for yield to momentum. Rather than forcing consistency through discipline, you start extremely small, so momentum builds naturally, and then you ride that momentum instead of pushing against it. Most people fail at building discipline because they believe they must become someone they're not. Their process usually looks like this. They decide they need more discipline, so they design a demanding routine filled with early mornings, intense workouts, strict diets, and hours of focused work. They depend on motivation and willpower to stick to the routine, promising themselves they'll endure the discomfort until it becomes habit. When they inevitably skip a day or break the routine, they treat it as proof that they lack discipline instead of realizing the system itself was unrealistic. They either quit entirely or double down with even stricter rules, creating a painful cycle of failure and self-blame. Trust me, I lived this pattern for years. I built complicated productivity systems with color-coded calendars, detailed tracking spreadsheets, and rigid daily schedules. They worked perfectly for about a week, until real life interfered and everything collapsed. The core mistake in this approach is treating discipline like a personality trait, something you either possess or you don't, rather than understanding it as the outcome of well-designed systems that match your psychology. What if building discipline wasn't about increasing motivation, but about becoming more strategic? This perspective completely transformed the way I approach personal development. Let me walk you through exactly how to implement each part of the LAZY method, using your natural tendencies as strengths instead of weaknesses. Let's start with leverage. The goal is to create external forces that make good choices almost unavoidable and bad choices harder to follow. This means designing consequences and rewards that activate automatically, so you don't need moment-to-moment willpower. For example, instead of relying on motivation to exercise, I schedule gym sessions with a trainer who charges me whether I show up or not. Instead of trusting myself to eat healthy, I subscribe to meal delivery that arrives already portioned. Instead of depending on discipline to work on important projects, I arrange co-working sessions where others would notice if I didn't show up. The idea is simple: make the friction of doing the right thing lower than the friction of avoiding it. Design your environment so that following through becomes the easiest option. Next comes automate. Here you remove as many repeated decisions as possible by building routines, templates, and systems that operate automatically. This protects your limited willpower for decisions that truly matter. Create simple templates for common situations. Meal planning. Eat the same breakfast daily, rotate between 3 lunch options, and plan dinners every Sunday. Work priorities. Always start with the most important task, check email only at scheduled times, and use time blocks for different types of work. Evening routine. Set out clothes the night before, charge your phone outside the bedroom, and prepare tomorrow's priorities before ending the workday. I automated everything from my morning routine. Same breakfast, same workout playlist, same route to work. To financial decisions like automatic investments, bill payments, and savings transfers. This freed my mental energy for creative thinking and long-term strategy. I'm curious about your relationship with routine and spontaneity. Do automated decisions give you more freedom elsewhere, or do structured systems feel restrictive to you? Your perspective might help others struggling to balance structure and flexibility. Now let's talk about zone design. This means intentionally shaping your physical and digital environments so they naturally guide you toward better choices without requiring constant effort. Physical environment design. Keep healthy snacks visible while hiding junk food in harder-to-reach places. Set up your workspace the night before so you can start immediately. Put your phone charger in another room to avoid mindless scrolling. Place books near the couch where you normally watch TV and hide the remote. Digital environment design. Use website blockers and app timers during focus periods. Unsubscribe from emails that don't provide value. Configure your computer to open work tools automatically. Activate focus modes that allow only essential notifications. The goal is simple. Let your environment do the thinking for you. When good choices are easy and obvious while bad choices require extra effort, the secret comes from Stanford researcher B.J. Fogg's idea of tiny habits. Behaviors so small, they require almost no motivation. Instead of work out for an hour, start with do 1 push-up. Instead of meditate for 20 minutes, start with take 3 deep breaths. Instead of write 1,000 words, start with write 1 sentence. Instead of clean the entire house, start with make the bed. Once you complete your tiny habit consistently for a week, you can expand it, but only if it still feels easy. The moment it requires willpower, scale it back until momentum rebuilds. I began my writing habit by committing to just 1 sentence per day. After 2 weeks of consistency, I naturally wanted to write more, so I increased it to 1 paragraph. 6 months later, I was writing over 1,000 words daily. Not through discipline, but through momentum built slowly over time. My internal dialogue became something like this. I feel like doing more today, but I'll stick to my minimum habit to protect momentum. Tomorrow, I can exceed expectations, but today, I just follow the system. This mindset helped me avoid the perfectionist urge to do too much too soon, the pattern that had destroyed every previous attempt to build discipline. The real power of this approach is that it bypasses the motivation problem entirely. When your daily requirement is so small that failure is almost impossible, you build confidence and identity through consistent wins rather than repeated failures. If you found this video helpful, the next video right here will take you even further. Your choice, your life. Start now.